a new flight today from Barranquilla to Bogota. We're gonna make it as a difficult flight, so it's gonna be an evening flight, probably arriving into the dark. We're gonna have a visibility almost zero with thunderstorms and rain and everything. We're gonna use a business jet. We're gonna have passengers on board, and it's gonna be all instrumentation flight. So let's get started. First of all, we need to plan the flight. We're gonna open Sim Brief. Okay, we're gonna have a new flight. The departure airport. Actually, we already have the code, is SKBQ. SKBQ, which is Barranquilla. The arrival is SKBO, which is Bogota. The aircraft is the Phenom 300E. You can see the route here. Let me check if I can set the weather somewhere here. Not sure if we can set the weather, but what we're going to do is we are going to carry more fuel. We're going to fly over the clouds, but then the takeoff and landing will be completely obstructed by basically has almost zero visibility. We're going to set that up. So let's generate a flight. And then we're going to take a look at the approach afterwards. So flight plan is ready. Let's start free flight. We're going to change the aircraft. We need the Embraer Phenom 300E business jet. There it is. Okay. We are going to set the aircraft in Barranquilla, so SKBQ, KBQ, and we're going to start not from the runway, but we're going to start from a ramp. So I see it's already cloudy. Actually, it looks like the weather is not that great in Barranquilla, but we want to make sure that sorry, just where is the, okay, here they are. These are all the ramps. Let's start from medium ramp, this ramp. Okay, we set as departure. Now the weather. The weather, we're gonna have customs weather. We are going to set the weather. Let's see, we're gonna have air traffic live, multiplayer. Okay, August. So the weather is gonna be thunderstorms, we're gonna have thunderstorms, but I want to reduce the visibility. Anyway, real time, so is supposed to be 16:23 in Barranquilla. We are gonna actually make it a little bit later, so we go into the dark. Let's do like 7:30. 7:30. Save. Let's see. Yeah, it's a little darker. Okay, let's start. Let's start the flight. Okay, it's dark. Okay. All right, so let's look at the weather again. So the clouds, we have light thunderstorms. We have precipitation. I'm gonna bring the ceiling down. To 1,000. Actually, let's make it a little less. 700 feet. This is really low, and then so we're gonna probably go over 30,000 feet. Let's see this one. Okay, this one. 13,000 feet, 20,000 feet. Clouds. Let's reduce these clouds to 35,000 feet. 35,000 feet, and this one is between 9,000 and 763 feet, so very, very low. And it's like thunderstorm, so it's not live weather, obviously. And show 3D thermal, not sure what is that. So clouds are low, as you can see. Now let's prepare the aircraft. Let's get into the aircraft. Okay, let's remove all the covers. Let me check here a little bit closer, that light. Okay, let's turn on the light. Let's do this. Let's start the batteries so we can turn on the lights. What we need to do though is we would need the GPU, security cone. Okay. We're going to remove the pilot cover. We're going to remove the chocks, engine covers, and landing gear pin is going to be removed. Let's check how many passengers we're going to need. We don't need a co-pilot. Hopefully they don't give us one. We're gonna have 4 passengers, however that may change. Let's get some additional fuel. Let's open the cargo door and the front cargo door. We're gonna load instantly the passengers. Now let's check if the passengers are here. We're gonna turn on the lights soon. Okay. So that's the lights inside, but we need to turn on the light for the passengers as well. Otherwise they're gonna start complaining. Okay. Lights are on.
Pause system test. Okay.
This is the panel. Lights. Emergency. This is good. So let's check Yeah, we have the passengers on board. We can, since we have them on board, we can actually close the door. Now let's check. Temperature is cold, so we need to make sure we get some temperature. So let's start to do this auto, and let's increase the temperature for the passengers so they are happy. Now we need to welcome the passengers so they are happy.
Ladies and gentlemen,
The cabin,
this Phenom
let's give them some coffee
Please sit back, relax, and enjoy the flight.
and clean the cabin so they are happy. We need to keep them happy. That's our goal. So this is good. This is on. We're gonna test that later. Let's turn on the pumps. All the pumps. This is good. Windshield, yeah, the weather is bad, so this is for the heating. We need to look at the pressurization. This is good. Auto mode. And let's make sure the computer is actually on. I mean, at least the monitor. Seat belts, we are gonna leave them off for the moment. We need to prepare the aircraft. Let's turn on the entertainment system so they don't bother us. It's difficult in the dark to find. Okay, the entertainment system is on. Now we can close the aircraft so we don't get any sort of wind inside or uncomfortable temperature. We need to close the cargo doors and the luggage doors. Front is cargo, back is cargo, but that's where the luggage usually are. Okay. Right, so we can now battery discharge. Yes, but we shouldn't have. We have the GPU connected. Anyway, we're gonna start the engines. Okay, engine is started. Engine number 2. We can remove the GPU, which is the ground power unit. Let's remove the security cones and the red carpet. We don't need those things anymore. We now go back to the batteries. They are good. Okay, now we need to start the second engine, the left one.
Ground. E55 P November 65 9016 with India. Request taxi for takeoff. Departing straight out.
Second engine is starting.
E55 P November 65
ITT
9016. Taxi 2 and hold short of runway 2
is good.
taxiway Alpha. Contact
And 1 is good. And 2 good. Oil pressure is good. Oil temperature is good. The fuel flow is good. We have 4,615 pounds of fuel on board. Batteries are normal. The pressurization is fine. Let's check for errors. Okay, we need to initialize the aircraft. So let's start with a voice recorder. Is good. Terrain warning. Toll system test, okay.
System test. Okay.
Okay, traffic. traffic warning. It's going to indicate any other aircraft
System test
conflicting
passed.
with us. Okay, then this is engine data. We're going to set the temperature at 15 Celsius. Send data. Data has been accepted. We are going to look at the flight plan now. So we need to load the flight plan. We're going to take it from SimBrief. This is our flight here, Barranquilla to Bogota. So we're going to import the route and we're going to import the weights. The weight has been imported. Let's look at the procedure. So we have a departure procedure, we have an arrival, we don't have an approach. However, we looked at the approach from Navigraph, and the approach we wanted to do is ILS X RWY 14L. Now, they have also a different arrival. They actually have 14R. So we're going to change the runway here. It shows 14L, so we're going to remove. We're going to get the 14R arrival. So first of all, runway 14R. Okay, then the approach. So the arrival, I have different arrival. I have a Magos the 5. Here they have ILSE 5E. So let's see. Remove. The ILSE 5E. ILSE 5E. Okay. Right. And now, what approach is left? So let's see which one works better. So the one that looks like closer is, let's take a look. And we want to have an ILS because so I would say we can go for with the ILS X runway 14R. Yes. Alright, so let's check 14R. Yes, and what did they tell us? Let's check. Ames. There it is. We're gonna use Ames. We're gonna load this. Okay. Now the route should all be fine. Let's take a look. They are gonna send us to, I'm pretty sure they're gonna send us over 35,000 feet. And the reason is that the clouds are at 35,000 feet. So the departure is about 10,000 feet. So we're gonna set the navigation, the altitude at 10,000 feet, the departure altitude, and then we're gonna listen to the control tower and see what altitude does it want. So we're gonna accept the flight plan, FMS, aircraft loading. Let's use whatever is in the GPS, in the FMS. Yes, we have, this is actually from SimBrief, so we have, looks like we only have 2 passengers. Okay, they decide to give us 2 passengers, maybe because of the fuel, I'm not sure. Okay, we're gonna, next. So the weather obviously, wow, it's 15 knots, so we have a strong wind. Temperature 31, barometric pressure 29.71. Let's immediately adjust that. 29.31. 29 point. Sorry, this is 29 point. Obviously, with the bad weather, the pressure is changing. Otherwise, sea level, sunny day would be 29.92, but 31. Yes, he's warning us they're not matching because we have a second. Okay, we need to go to the other one. We need to do the same here. However, we need to change the units. 29 point. Why am I doing? Going the other way around. 29 point. 29.31. Let's see, HPA 993. We need to adjust this one, otherwise it will not match. 993. This is very important, otherwise our altitude will be wrong, and particularly during landing, you can basically have a different perception of the altitude. So it should be fine now. Yeah, still showing the error, but 29, 31, 29, 31, 993. So we can, it's correct. Now, we loaded the weather. We have runway information. We are going to do the takeoff, the trim 9.6. I'm going to do a little bit less than that. The rotation will be 102 knots. Okay. So I'm going to accept. And the landing, we're going to do the landing later on. So accept. You can accept the initialization. Now let's we have still a few things to do. First of all, let's move this to the left. We're going to use a checklist after start. Let's look at the checklist. We have to do some tests. So we're going to test fire sensors. We're going to test the stall. We're going to hear it 3 times. Passengers are 2 passengers only. That's fine. They don't seem to be very happy right now. Temperature is good, so they shouldn't be complaining, but let's give them some more coffee. Maybe a cake. Alright, so let's go back. I guess the weather caused not too many passengers to show up. Let's move this one to the right side. Here we're gonna show the map. Let's take a look. Okay, this is our route. Here. we're gonna show the charts. We need to know in Barranquilla, we need to have the map of the airport. So airport information, there it is. Let's look at the route again. Right. The flight plan tells us we're gonna depart at runways 05. Let's look at the map. Maybe we make it a little bit bigger. Full screen. This is the 05. Our aircraft is here. So they are gonna tell us if we have to take the taxiway A and then A3. Most likely B1, B or C, AA3. We're gonna check with that. So let's check with the tower. Okay. Taxiway 2 and hold short of runway 23. They want us to leave from runway 23. That one is not in my plans, but we have to follow, yeah, runway 23. Okay. Then we're gonna leave from runway 23. This is gonna be easy, right? Taxiway A, so we're gonna go A2, and then we're gonna leave runway 23. This is probably because of the wind. We always have to take off and land against the wind. A few things. We did all these tests. Transponder is fine. TCAS altimeter is set. Let's trim the aircraft. Aircraft is trimmed. Flaps. External light. Nice protection. We have. What I want to see is, let's turn on the taxi light. Let's check our aircraft from outside. Do we have any obstacle? No, that's good. We have no obstacles, so let's go back. And let's go to the before takeoff. We're gonna look at this afterwards. So at this point we're gonna let our passengers know that we're going to move. In the meantime, everything looks good with the aircraft. Map is there. Okay. So right now, since we are all set, I'm going to change to virtual reality. I'm gonna pause for a second, and I'm gonna see you in virtual reality. Okay, this is better. Let me see if it gets better. This is better. This is, I think it's good. I need to remove this. It just bothers. Okay, so let's ask for. I think they already gave us the okay to taxi. So we basically are facing. We need to go left. Right. Need to go left. Over there. So the parking brake down. Passengers, only 2 passengers. And let's see what kind of passengers are there. Oh, we have 1 VIP, Chloe Morgan, and a frequent flyer. Temperature 22.6, it's good. So let's move forward. Don't worry about this guy, he's not gonna die. They're never gonna move. Okay. Permission from the control tower.
Cortizas Tower, E55P November 65, 9016 at runway 23 ready for departure.
We're
Straight
gonna
out
turn on
departure.
the seatbelt.
E55P November
Lights.
659016. QNH 101 tree, straight out departure approved. Cleared for takeoff runway 23.
Cleared for takeoff runway 23. E55P 9016.
Okay, there is one thing we need to do. Hopefully we have no other aircraft coming. We need to set the target altitude. Okay. Alright, so target altitude. We're gonna do it from here. We are going to set it at least at 10,000 and then we're gonna adjust it. Okay. We're gonna use the flight level change and we're gonna set the navigation but no autopilot yet. Let's turn off these lights so they don't bother us. And I think we're ready to start. Let's go. Landing gear up, flaps up.
High speed. High speed. High speed.
E55P 9016. Leaving my airspace. Frequency change approved.
Let's acknowledge.
Cortizas Tower, E55P November 65916. Frequency change.
Yeah, this is Barranquilla. We're flying over the city. We have a better view from outside. I'm gonna set the autopilot. This is the airport where we took off. We are on the way to Bogota.
Barranquilla Center, E55P November 65916, 5 miles northeast of Sierra Kilo Delta Romeo Lima, 12,900. Request IFR to El Dorado. Ready to copy.
E55P November 65916 is cleared at El Dorado Airport as filed. Squawk 644 tree.
E55P November 65916, cleared to El Dorado Airport as filed. Squawk 644 tree.
E55P 916, read back correct. Radar contact 13,600. QNH 101 tree, continue to Ninlo following heading 1 tree 5. Proceed on course. Climb and maintain flight level 440. Keep speed not above 210 knots.
Continue to Nimlo, following heading 1 tree 5. Proceed on course. Climb and maintain flight level 440. Keep speed not above 210 knots. E55P 916.
I'm setting the new altitude at 44,000 feet. Air traffic control gave us 44,000 feet altitude. They gave us also our squawk, which is 6443. That's how they recognize our aircraft. They don't want us to go above 220 knots, 210 knots. So we have to decrease. We need to change now to standard the pressure, the altitude pressure. This is because every aircraft over 18,000 feet must use the same measurement to understand at what altitude they are. If they change, they could be, could be very dangerous. So once over 18,000 feet, everybody sets. Standard, which is 2992 is the standard. Or 1013 HPA. Okay, so we are now at 25,000 feet. Let's look at the weather. I mean, the weather is supposed to be not great. I mean, I said it, not great, so... But, are we above the clouds? I need to check the weather again. I set the weather not great, so maybe... Let's check it out. Yeah, see, I have light thunderstorms. 2992, lightning. Yeah, let's have a lot of lightning. Precipitation is pretty big. Yeah, you see a lot of lightning. Okay, so we are above the clouds. Can't see anything, of course. But then I do see there, so maybe we'll see the clouds afterwards. Let's close this one for the moment. And we are now cruising. So our passengers, one is happy, the other one is almost happy. Let's tell them cruise. And let's turn off the seatbelt. We don't need the seatbelt anymore. Let's offer them some coffee and cake. Temperature is at 21.1. It's good. You can see the lightning. You can see here the weather. Yellow. The and red, of course, is bad. Let's see. You can see the weather. That's a lot of bad weather around. Let's see how it looks outside. I just need to find the... I guess we're gonna see clouds afterwards. Those are, I can see one passenger. Cabin is dark, of course. That's behind us. You can see all the lights. That's Barranquilla. All the lights in the middle of the cloud. That's Barranquilla. So, all right. So let's look at the let's look at the flight plan, and also we don't need this anymore, so let's look at, let's close this. Okay, let's look at the flight plan. So they told us 44,000 feet. Eventually flight level change, 18,000, 10,000. 10,000. Is Bogota is at 10,000 feet? That sounds like a high elevation for an airport, but we can go and take a look. That's interesting. Okay, let's set 10,000 feet. I can see 10,000 feet over there already, so let's use the VND. And I'm gonna set the altitude to 10,000 feet, and when we meet the path, vertical path, then the aircraft will start descending. It's too early now. I'm actually doing it from my instruments, but I can do it also from here. It's the same thing, or I can just drag it. That's faster, right? It's not. Okay. I think I did it too early. We haven't reached 44,000 feet yet. So I need to reset the 44,000 feet. So we reach the altitude. What we could do...
55P 916. Please expedite your climb
Yeah.
flight level 440.
I'm gonna ask them to... I'm gonna ask them to change. And I'm gonna ask them to decrease by 9,000 feet. So 8,000 and then 1,000.
Barranquilla Center, E55P916. Request flight level tree 60.
So we can do like 36,000 feet.
E55P 916. Climb and maintain flight level tree 60.
Okay, let's do flight level change again.
Climb and maintain flight level tree 60. E55P916.
Okay, we do have some view on the top. Okay, we're climbing to 36,000 feet. As soon as we're up, we're gonna change. Let's put some light in here. We are already on cruising speed. Our passengers are still alive. That's good news. We can take a look at the route. How the route is gonna looks like. You can see bad. No, that's not the weather. So those are the mountains. And I see Bogota actually is at 10,000 feet elevation. I can see those on the mountain, so I did not expect that. We can actually look at the charts if we want. Let's look at the charts. And this is SKBO, so that's Bogota. This is the airport information. It's a little challenging to read. Actually, what I want to do maybe, well, let's look at the approach. What was the approach? Any approach probably is fine. 14, I think X. ILS 14 R. Okay, let's look at the approach. Well, the approach starts at 10,000 feet. 10,800 feet. That's interesting. Let's look at something else. I want to see the landing information. Probably not available yet. Let's see the runway. The runway is at 8,351 feet. It's quite high. Interesting. It's a long runway, 12,468 feet. Okay, let's go back to with our flight plan. I'm going to let so we are at 36,000 feet. So now I'm gonna set at 10,000 feet in preparation of the vertical track that will lead us to the ILS. So at a certain point, when it gets to a certain waypoints, the aircraft has already set some altitudes. It's gonna start descending, meeting that altitude by the time it gets to those waypoints, and eventually we need to be at 10,000 feet in order to catch the ILS, Instrumentation Landing System. There's some thunderstorms. So what we're going to do, we're going to do VNAV. Let me set VNAV. I'm going to see it there. Okay, the V. This one is going to wait for the vertical track to lead. Of course, before it goes down, what we need to do is we need to make sure we decrease the speed. Takes, but so we have here, we passed the N, I, N, and LO. This is one of the waypoints. The next waypoint is LOKOV. The direction is 174 degrees. And we are at 71 nautical miles distance from that waypoint. I don't know why, but that waypoint is already showing 10,000 feet. So that means we're going to be pretty close to the airport. Chloe Morgan. Not sure what else I can do for this person. The aircraft is all fine. We're following the route. We are at 36,000 feet. Our speed is 259 nautical knots. Sorry. The ground speed is 450 knots. True airspeed is 448. This is Mach 0.781. We are going. We're moving south 188 degrees. Autopilot is on. Vertical track is on. Temperature inside is 21.4. Sometimes we see beautiful lights. Yeah. Let's look at the route a little bit more closely. "43 nautical miles from the next waypoint EJA. Then from EJA, we actually will be at the arrival. And when we arrive, it looks like we're going to be above 18,000 feet. Then below 220 between. Probably we're going to be at 180. And then we'll start descending 12,000, 10,000, 800, and 10,000. The runway is going to be 10,000. So we have, let me see if I can turn on Navigraph. We have the flight planner. Let's look at the flight planner. Let's look at the route. This is the route, but I want to see the details of the route. Okay. So from so we are 30 nautical miles from EJA, and then we have another 61 miles from ILSEV. I need to check. Yeah, that's right. And then BO 884. So we have about 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 90. Let's go up one more. 90, 150. We have about almost 200 nautical miles left. Can't get that VIP to fall asleep. Let's see what is her problem. Chloe Morgan sniffed the coffee suspiciously before accepting it. Okay, how about some cake? Chloe Morgan took the coffee. Finally, some service. I mean, I've been offering coffee every 10 minutes. Spoil the brat. Don't tell her. She's a VIP, a passenger. Actually, I think, let's see, is the one on my right side. Oh, no, that's a man, so it has to be the other one. Unless... no, actually, it's a boy. And Chloe is a man. Because the other one is Autumn Rayleigh is a lady, so it has to be a man, that Chloe. He's the one on the right side. When I look down is that guy with the gray hair. It's difficult to explain, but when you look the simulation on the screen, yeah, it looks nice, and you see the functionality of the aircraft and so on. But when you wear the goggles, the MetaQuest 3 or any one, good quality one, it really feels you're no longer sitting in an office. You're actually sitting in an aircraft at 36,000 feet, and you're looking outside the window. And you see the sky, traffic,
11 o'clock.
11
Low.
o'clock. Let's
7
see.
miles. Climb.
Oh, I can see that. That is the other aircraft.
Increase climb. Increase climb.
Okay, so
55P916. Traffic is 10 o'clock. For miles. At flight level tree 55. Airbus A320. Report them in sight.
yeah,
Clear
so,
of conflict.
yeah. So when you see another aircraft, that's another person on a simulator. So we can see each other in aircrafts, obviously. So that's real traffic, but simulator traffic. So other people using their own aircraft. It's not obviously a real world traffic. That's not going to happen. I mean, as far as I know, I'm not sure. I don't think it's possible. But anyway, those ones are simulators. Let's see how the world looks outside. So for people who are not familiar with aircrafts, the aircraft has a red light on the left and the green light on the right wing. And the reason why they have that, so they can see other aircraft or people from the ground. They can see the direction of the aircraft by looking at the lights. So, obviously, if you have an aircraft, you look it up and you see green and red, you know that green is on the right, red is on the left, so that means you can see where the aircraft is going, the direction. So while we can sit outside the aircraft and enjoy the view like you are floating in the sky, They still have to provide you instruments, basic instruments to fly the aircraft. You can see I'm looking at now airspeed 258. I can see the engines, the fuel, AOA, the angle of attack, and I can see the flaps, the trim, the altitude, so we passed the AJA and we are now going towards ILSEV. I think we're gonna stay on this altitude because here they give us a restriction to be above 18,000 feet. We are at 25 nautical miles from ILSEV, and then the next one I see a restriction. We need to be below 22,000 feet. And then they ask us to go to 18,000 feet. So the vertical track should guide us through. And then eventually when the approach starts, we are gonna go down to 12,000 feet and then 10,800, and that's where we catch the ILS.
Vertical track.
Okay, here we go. Vertical track. So now we can see the vertical track here. So the V, when this one arrives here, then the aircraft will start descending and will track to the next waypoint. So we'll bring the aircraft to the correct altitude to the next waypoint. It's a gradual decrease of altitude until it brings you to the ILS, depending how you set up the aircraft. Of course, you can do all manually this, but it's very convenient. You don't make a mistake, and it follows a reasonable angle, to lower the altitude. There we go. You can see it's going down, and of course the speed is increasing. I have to reduce the throttle. So the throttle has to be decreased. I have to lower the speed. If I go over this line here, I'm overspeeding, and that can cause structural damage to the aircraft. So of course, going down, that means I'm using less fuel, which is good because I'm a little concerned about the amount of fuel left. I wanted to have more fuel, but I think when I loaded...
E55P 916. You're 1,500 below your assigned altitude.
No.
Climb and maintain flight level tree 60. Keep speed not above 270 knots.
Yeah, so...
Climb and maintain flight level 360. Keep speed not above 270 knots. E55P 916.
I'm gonna ask to decrease 10,000.
Bogota Center, E55P9016. Request flight level 260.
E55P9016. Descend and maintain flight level 260.
Descend and maintain flight level 260. E55P9016.
So we are at the arrival. What we're going to do now, we're gonna select the maps for the arrival. So the arrival is Ilse 5E, and let's look at the charts. This is Barranquilla, SKVO for Bogota. Okay, now we look for arrival charts, and we need Ilse V, I think is that one. Let's see if there is any other around. I think it's this one. So Ilse V, yeah, that's the only one. Ilse V5E. Let me see, BO 884 Papet. Look at BO 884 Puppet. So here it says we need to be below 22,000 feet, and then has to go down to 18,000. So that's good. That must be a major road. Maybe through mountain area because it's not a straight line. Chloe is still not happy. I don't know what he wants, but here we go. We're gonna serve him again. We can also let him know that how the cruise is going.
We have reached our cruising altitude. Welcome to Barranquilla. Enjoy the flight. Got direct from the flight deck.
We're not gonna let them know that we have started the descent. As you can see from the front, you don't see anything. And the interesting thing is that the majority of the aircrafts, when they fly, they actually don't see anything. Well, I'm talking about obviously aircraft that they fly with the instruments. They don't see anything. They don't need to see anything. Of course, it feels better if you see something. But, you know, on the other hand, often, you know, they land with, you know, with limited visibility. They are in the clouds. They are above the clouds, and, you know, everything is. They have so much instrumentation.
Descend via ILSC 5 Echo to 13,000. Expect ILS Zulu runway 14 right approach via AMPS transition. E55P9016.
Okay, so let's look at And we can already see our aircraft on the map. And this is the arrival route. So the next waypoint is 2.3 nautical miles, so we're basically almost there. Sorry, my seat is uncomfortable. I need to buy one of those gaming chairs. I need to stand to make my seat comfortable. Okay, you can stand in the cabin, you know. You can. You can walk around and look. You can raise your head, you know, to look better. And so far is all good. Still, you know, we are declining, but is descending. And it's good that we have an ILS, so we don't really have to see anything until the last moment. The ILS is a precision landing, basically, or precision approach and landing. We're now we are over the mountains. Yes, there's certainly a mountain area. You can see all the red, orange, and red and yellow. That definitely is a mountain area. We can't see because it's evening, but it's definitely a mountain area. 10 miles, 10 nautical miles to Papet. Then we have, okay, Papet, we have to be 18,000 feet by the time we get there. Yeah, we are obviously on track. And then we stay at 18,000. You can see they have a bracket. They have a line on top and at the bottom of the number, flight level 180, which means 18,000 feet. So there is no descent. Yet. I mean, we're descending to 18,000 feet and then we level at 18,000. Certainly from the top, I mean, we have amazing views. Whether at night with all the lights or during the day. Going through clouds. Okay, 18,000 feet. And we are only 8 nautical miles. We are only 8 nautical miles. 18,000 feet. We continue with the vertical track. Everything is fine. We just have to increase the throttle a little bit. Because the speed is declining. Since we're leveling, we're no longer going descending. We are losing speed, so I increase the throttle. to cruise. Okay, we have to stay below 270, I believe. The speed below 270, so I'm going to set at 260, 266. Ice condition. Okay, but we do have the anti-ice. I'm gonna put the ice protection for the engine just in case. And the rest is already on. I'm gonna put this one on since it's giving me ice condition. Yeah, okay, I got it. Okay, let's see, we are still leveling at 18,000 feet. In the middle of the clouds, definitely. I mean, I can see the top, I don't see the bottom, so still ice condition. Very dangerous for aircrafts. So many accidents because of ice. Fortunately, this aircraft has heating system for the wings and for the engines. I'm sorry, for the windshield and also the engines. And the wings as well. Ice condition. I see no longer ice condition, so that looks like we are okay. I'm gonna turn it off. We should see the vertical track. Okay, after top key, we need to start reducing the speed since the approach is coming. I have to see the distance. Let me see here. Let me check actually. Top key. MBOAA5, and this is where the approach starts. So here we need to be below 18,000. And of course, certainly the most important thing is to be at 10,800 feet in order to catch the ILS signal. Otherwise, we will have to do it manually. Looks like a big city. Maybe that is Bogota. Let's see from the map.
Vertical track.
So Yeah, that's probably Bogota. There we are, very close. So I'm gonna tell them we're descending.
This is the captain. We're now descending towards our destination. There shall be another motion.
ILS is Z, runway 14. I think we have ILS X. We have ILS X. We're gonna continue with ILS X. We are already set up. I mean, the runway is the same. It's just the approach. I mean, I don't see the weather being so bad here. Okay, so let's slow down a little bit. We started to descend again. And now we need to be at BO885, okay, but then the next BO885, probably about 15,000 feet. And we have to stay below 250 knots. And then Ames, we need to be at 12,000 feet. And that's when the approach starts. So now I'm gonna look for the approach map, and I'm gonna look for the ILS X. Check
E55P 9er16, contact Bogota. Approach on 11.9.95.
That's the approach.
Going to 119.95. E55P 9er16.
That's where our aircraft is right now, towards the approach. So you can see Ames here. We have to be at 12,000 feet. Maximum speed at 250 knots. Then we have to meet 10,800 feet in order to catch the localizer. Oh, sorry, the glide scope. So much turns. I think it's both anyway. Alright, so let's tune onto Bogota approach. They're going to give us some information.
E55P November 65916 is passing 14,500, descending 13,000 via the ILS-E5 Echo arrival.
E55P
I
November
can see the runways.
65916, Bogota approach, QNH 101 radar contact, continue to AMS.
Okay, this is going to be 2992. We're gonna put the approach 2992. (1013) here. (1013) Okay. Let's slow down. Let's put some speed brakes on. Okay, speed brakes are on.
E55P9er16, Contact tower on 118.25 when inbound.
Tower on 118.25. E55P9016.
Flaps.
Tower, E55P November 65916.
E55P November
5 miles northwest.
65916.
Inbound
Tower.
ILS Zulu runway
QNH
14 right approach.
1013. Cleared ILS Zulu runway 14 right approach.
High speed.
Cleared ILS Zulu runway 14 right approach. E55P9016.
That's interesting. It shows me not that airport. No, we are not aligned with the. Oh, it's aligning now. Okay. The approach is set. Yeah, it's with the localizer, so further. Yeah, it's aligning now. And gear down. Slows the aircraft a little bit.
E55P9016.
Flaps.
Wind 278 at tree 0. Clear to land runway 14 right.
Okay. Light on.
Clear to land runway 14 right. E55P9016.
Seatbelt on. Flaps. Full flaps.
Trim.
We are all good.
Trim.
It looks good. I mean, I think there is a lot of wind. That's the problem. It looks like the aircraft is facing to the south. But actually, yeah, the aircraft is not going. I mean, is navigating, pointing against the wind, basically. That's why it looks like it's looking away from the runway, but it's moving. The aircraft itself is actually moving, and you can probably see it. Let me see. You can see it from here. You can see how it's going. You can see the aircraft is not going straight. Well, that's how it works with the winds, right? There's a lot of wind. So the speed is good. We just need a little bit more. A little bit more speed. We should be at 104. We're gonna control it.
200.
Well, the altitude is fine. Okay.
100.
Autopilot off. That was quite a landing because of the winds. We had to come down quite fast. That's what normally happens. I don't know if they're flown during bad weather. The aircraft usually comes down fast. Where this guy? The VIP decides to go to the toilet during landing. Come on. Okay, so we are going to...
E55 P9er16. Turn next taxiway.
Yeah. That's the next taxiway. So flaps up. Let's slow down. Let's change the light to taxi. We can go out here.
E55 P9er16. Turn next taxiway.
Yes. There
E55 P9er16. Contact ground on 121.8.
Going to 121.8. E55 P9er16.
Okay. Let's stop here. Now we need to contact ground and go to the gate.
Ground, E55 P November 659er16. Taxi to the gate.
E55P November 659er16. Taxi to gate 10 using taxiway Kilo 5 November Echo Papa Charlie.
Echo
Taxi
Papa
to gate
Charlie.
10 via taxiway Kilo 5 November Echo Papa Charlie. E55 P9er16.
Parking stands. Parking stands. Okay, so we can see the parking stands here. We can go to parking stands afterwards. Okay, in the meantime, let's go up. Airport information. So he says to go to gate 10 via taxiway K5NEPC. Okay, this is always a challenge here. Okay. N E P. What is gate 10? Oh, you can see the gates here. There it is. Gate 10. N-E-T. N-E. N. E. Okay. There we go. NEPC. You can see where the gate 10 is. So 10, 9, 7. And we are in Bogota, and you know, actually the weather was not so bad here. I wanted to create bad weather landing, but there was wind. That's very dangerous. Of course, at the moment I thought the aircraft was going in the wrong direction. Then I realized it must be the wind, and that's what it was. So we need to go straight. You can follow the aircraft here. Eventually we turn right into C. PC, yeah. You can see here the C. So we should see. I think it's too early, the next one, right? I think it's maybe we missed it. I have the feeling we missed it, but we can still move in. Yeah, we missed it. In any case, let me go here and then we just move back into C. C is the other one. Oh wow, we missed it a lot. We are in A. Let me turn right as soon as we can. The next one. Those are the gates. We're going to turn right here. And we're gonna go left here. Okay, so we are aligned. We should be...
Avianca 9er 534, you are not cleared to take off. Avianca 9er 534, you are not cleared to take off.
That's not us. It's maybe one of those guys. Also in the simulator they decided not to ask the control tower for takeoff. Okay, let's see. What is this?
Avianca 9er 534,
This is
you are not cleared to
9.
take off.
This is B9. I need the B10. We are close to gate 10. I think I see it. No, that's a door. This has to be 10. Yeah, I think this is 10. I'm gonna park here. Okay, we have arrived. So parking brakes on, engine off. So I don't know, they were not happy with the weather, but that's not my fault. I gave them as much food as possible. Anyway, they gave me a 56 over 100. Okay, so let's make sure that they get out of the aircraft and go back to sleep. Let's open the door. You can see them over there inside the window. I'm gonna call the cabin. Look, we were left with little fuel. Okay, unload real time. In the meantime, we can turn down the lights, navigation, strobe, inspection. This one we can turn it off. We're gonna keep the cabin. Sorry, let me leave it a little bit. Cabin on. Emergency light, let's leave it on for security reason. The car should come soon. In the meantime, I'm gonna turn off the this is the air conditioning. Pressurization no longer needed. The map, we don't no longer needed the map, but we are done. Okay, what we did not to do, we should have put the timer. Actually, let's leave it on auto, this one. Okay, heating is down. Okay, the car is not here yet. Pumps down. Seatbelt off. Leave the electrical on until they arrive. How long? 17 seconds for the car to be here. I see the car is coming. There is the car. We have a special car for business jet passengers. Of course, it's gonna set up here. Look, you can see the cockpit and the instruments on. There is the car. Now they're going to, what we're going to do, we need to put, I think, let's do something good. We need to put the security cone down, safety, and the red carpet. And then in the meantime, we cover the aircraft. I mean, we protect the engines and covers, chocks, landing gear pin, and pitot cover, while they offload the luggage. We should see the luggage being offloaded. We actually see just the luggage appearing here and then they disappear into the car. Let's get back into the aircraft. Of course, what we did not to do that we should have done, just I didn't have enough time, but we should have done it. It's very dangerous not to do it, is the checklist. And you will have to bring on the checklist here on the left actually, and then go through the various checklists. For example, we have after landing checklist, the approach checklist, the before landing, the after landing. Transponder 7000. And then the shutdown. So the thrust levers idle. They are idle, as you can see, both of them. Emergency parking brake is on. Windshield 1 and 2 is off. ADS probes knob is auto. Engine 1 and 2 switches are off. They are are they asking for this? Engine ignition off. Okay. Wing stab switch is off. Start and stop knobs are stop. Yep. MFD status page is check. That one I don't know how to do, the check. I have to find out. How do I do the check? Settings. Other settings. But it's not this one. MFD status page.
Aries 4085. Hold position. Caution other traffic.
Fasten seatbelt is down. The car left, so we can actually turn emergency light off.
Hold position. Aries 4085.
We can turn
Aries
the power off.
4085. Continue taxi.
Yeah, let's close the door first. Passengers are gone.
Roger.
Cargo door
Aries
closed.
4085.
Cargo door, other cargo door. Security cones we can remove. Maybe we should leave them. We stay overnight. Yeah, we're gonna turn it off. So we're gonna turn off this one. I have to do it physically here.
GPWS system failure.
When I do it from my physical controls, causes a little bit of issue. Okay, so batteries are off. We can now leave the aircraft. The aircraft is empty, as you can see by using the flashlight. We can now leave the aircraft. We can see the aircraft from outside. Beautiful aircraft. Okay, that